don't even bother.
Who doesn't want to hear everything that you have to say?
Well, I definitely have a lot to say about the tourism industry. So,
Okay, so on that note, Andrew Heidt, Vice President of Sales at Visit Boise. Welcome.
thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I've never done one of these before, so excited to give it a shot.
Those are our favorite people.
Yeah.
The ones that have never done it before. 'Cause
No,
it's just
this
a conversation.
Oh, this is fun. Love it.
Good. So I'm going to invite you to please tell us about you and your background first. Like, who are you? Who's Andrew?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, first of all, hopefully everybody can understand me because I am from Southern Virginia. So my friends told me to try to pronunciate on this podcast here. I'll start with that. But yeah, grew up in Virginia and grew up skiing. That was my passion, still is. And my father worked for Coors Brewing Company for 20 years, and he took me out to Golden, Colorado a couple times and got to ski out in Colorado when I was a teenager and always wanted to move out there. So after college and all, I packed up my truck and headed to Denver, Colorado. So it was pretty wild. Yeah, didn't know anybody out there and settled in and actually quit my job. I didn't, backtrack. I was living on a sailboat in Annapolis, Maryland for 6 years, working at the Annapolis Convention and Visitors Bureau. So I've been doing this tourism deal for a long time. But, left the sailboat life, but I didn't watch TV, so I didn't know we were in the 08, 09 recession. So I quit my job and did the drive out to Denver, but I had a few connections through the trade show industry, and I was able to get a cool gig doing sports tourism marketing out there in Denver. So that worked out great, but the long story short, that company got bought, and so I got to become a ski bum for about a year in Denver, and it was amazing. Yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything. But then a position came open in Boulder, Colorado, working for the Convention and Visitors Bureau there. And so that's where I ended up living in downtown Denver and working for Boulder Tourism for 8 years. And love that. Amazing town, and kind of got the big city life in Denver and the outdoor recreational city of Boulder. And back then it was about a 30-minute drive. Now it's a little more brutal. But yeah, that was amazing representing Boulder. But after a while, I was ready to change it up and did a big camping trip through Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana, looking at different cities to move to, and came through Boise, and I was just going to stay here for a day and ended up staying here for, I think, 4 days. I stayed in I don't know if it's still there, I need to check, but over by the Hawks baseball stadium, there was a little tiny house right on the river that somebody had told me about, and it was $50 a night. And at the RV park there. Mm-hmm. So I'll have to check that out, see if it's still available. But it was great. It was right on the river. I had my mountain bike, so I took the Greenbelt down to Alive After 5. I tell people that was my biggest thing that I loved. Alive After 5 was going on a nice summer day. And
There's nothing better.
Yeah, summer evening, and I fell in love with Boise and the whole deal. So decided to pick up and leave Colorado about 8 years ago, almost to the day. So here I am.
Wow.
So
did you wait for a position to be open in Boise before you moved out, or did you just wing it?
No, I think I came through here in 2016, and I knew I wanted to move here, and there wasn't an opening at the Convention Visitors Bureau at the time, but I knew I kind of saw what happened to Denver with how the housing went. And at the time, Boise in 2017 was not too expensive. So bought a house here in fall of 17, and I was just going to take my time moving up here. And Then, sure enough, a couple months later, Carrie, my executive director to this day, called and said, "Hey, we have an opening if you're still interested in Boise." And I said, "I'm moving there regardless," which isn't a great negotiating tactic, but but no, I knew I wanted to live here, so I was going to do it and figure something out. So, but I'm glad this opened up with Visit Boise because it is a dream job.
Nice. So tell us a little bit explain Visit Boise.
So Visit Boise, and every city has a similar organization, and we compete against them on a daily basis. But we all have a tourism organization that is, the main objectives are attracting visitors here. But I've always been on the meeting, convention, and sporting events side of things. So you kind of have those two segments. We do the marketing out to bring visitors in here that you all get, things from Expedia and all those different, but you also get them from cities doing the marketing. And then we do a lot of campaigns for the media and convention and sporting event industry. So the goal is to really drive economic impact. And I always tell people at the end of the day, it's really making sure our hotels throughout the city of Boise are doing well with occupancy and the rates that they can drive. So really, Visit Boise, an economic driver for the city. Produces a lot of tax dollars that go back into the businesses and cities here. So that's what we say is we're really an economic driver for the city.
Okay, and we appreciate that as we have a thriving city, which is so great to see Boise on the map where it hasn't been. I mean, I think especially since 2020, 2019, I'd say more, 2020, 21, when it really blew up, to have a city that's also taken care of. It's really nice. I think that was one of the first things I realized when I came here. Oh my gosh, I can walk downtown and it's safe, it's clean. There's purposeful graffiti, like it's for a reason in Freak Alley. And we love that because it just gives that appeal of the safety and why people love Boise so much.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, and one of the cool things we get to do is we get to bring in the people who are making decisions for these conventions. And so we bring in probably about 75 potential clients a year that are considering bringing their events to Boise. And most of them have never been here. And we always say, Boise really, we all know about it, and people in the West know a little bit about it, but people back east, Washington, D.C. is one of our huge markets. They have no idea about Boise. Some of them, think it's just the wild, wild West out here. So part of our job is to make sure they know what's happening out here and that we can host things. So the coolest thing is to fly them in here. Any decision makers, we'll fly them in and put them up in one of our hotels here and get to showcase the city for 2 to 3 days while they make a decision. It's so cool. They're just blown away by, when you get to Boise or most cities, you're not, 10 minutes from the airport to downtown. So we've got a very unique situation here. And the city, the city is just, they all leave saying, we thought it'd be, a nice kind of quaint city out west. And it really is. Talking about Treefort a minute ago, it's just this hip, vibrant city and that's why I love it. It's like I love Denver where I'm from, but I do so much more here than I did in living downtown Denver because there's literally something going on every weekend here in Boise, and it's so close. Everything's close and accessible. So, yeah, people are blown away. We're bringing in 10 clients for the Treefort Music Fest. That's just a fun way to showcase the city and kind of change their perception from neutral. Most people just have a neutral perception of Boise if they haven't been here. It's, we don't think it's good. We don't think it's bad. But our job's to change it to, man, this place is amazing, and we're going to bring our event here.
So when you travel, because you do a lot of traveling for work, what do you go do? You go and you speak to people and to events. What is that role? Like, what is that job like?
Yes, we have a team of 4 on our convention and sports sales team. So we go to about 16 trade shows throughout the year, throughout the country. And our main objective, so there'll be, every other destination in the country will be there. Our top competitors that are there the Salt Lakes, the Spokanes, Portland, Seattle. We obviously go up against the Pacific Northwest cities quite a bit. So all those cities are there with their representatives, and we have a chance to meet with anywhere from 20 to 500 decision makers who are deciding where to bring their conventions and sporting events that have a massive impact on the city. I actually brought some quick stat on that.
Sure, please.
But because I just wanted to run an example of so say you bring a convention here of 300 people for 3 days. The economic impact of direct sales to our city is over $400,000 just for that one event, in hotel sales, restaurant sales, transportation, the meeting expenses, audio visual like we have right here. All these pieces combine for a massive economic impact, and that's why all these cities invest in what we do. And just a little more about Visit Boise to give you an idea of how we're funded, because that's obviously important. So we're a nonprofit organization, and we're funded by the hotels in the Greater Boise Auditorium District. If you stay in a room, they collect a 5%. You're going to see a 5% tax on there. And that goes straight to the Greater Boise Auditorium District, which is the convention center and the aquatic center. And then the state of Idaho collects a 2% tax that goes to Visit Idaho Tourism Organization. So we get a grant. We go to both those entities each year, and Carrie does, our executive director, which has to put a grant together each year for funding, and we get a grant from each of them for marketing, administration fees to cover all of our expenses. But it's all driven by tourism tax for the most part. The hotels, see a benefit in the destination doing the marketing as one entity to really get them into the destination, and then we'll battle it out who gets the business when they're here in town. So that's how the funding piece works on how it happens.
Okay. And then when people are coming to host their events here, everything is direct sales, but are you facilitating all of it? Your team?
So the process for, say you want to bring a sporting event here. So okay. I'll take a real example. We started talking to Ironman Triathlon that we hosted. We've got a 3-year deal with them, but we were talking to them, and they said, hey, we haven't been here. They were here about 10 years ago, 2015, and they said, we'd love to bring something back to Boise. So they've got a whole RFP, request for proposal process, all the things that they require from a city to bring this, and what's needed from a funding standpoint, because they know the value of their events that they're bringing to these cities. So there is a lot of competition between cities on who gets to host what. So Ironman, for example, we go through their whole RFP package on what they need, and then we work with the city and all the special event entities, Parks and Recreation, Lucky Peak. So we make those connections and talk to them about, is this even feasible to bring this here? Do we want this here in Boise? And talk to all those major entities that are involved, the hotels, make sure they're on board, because it's a massive impact for them as well. We'll get information from all of those entities to put together into one bid for Boise. So basically, it's putting together a package of all these different pieces that are needed for the event, putting it into a clean package that we can present to Ironman and say, this is what Boise brings to the table for you. Here's all the partners, letters of support of from, say, the mayor or other folks that are on board to help us bring this here. So that's what we do, is put that package together and make it easy. Our goal is to make it easy for the client to just say yes. So these guys have a great package compared to, say a Salem, Oregon,
sure,
who also hosts a great event. So yeah, that's what we do, is try to make it easy for the client to do business here is the end goal. And we work on all those event and tourism pieces to put them in one easy package.
Okay. And then they make decisions from there. So that's like hotels, all the bids for hotels and everything. In terms of rates, everyone's has the special rates or the corporate rate, I guess, at that point, right? So
we work to negotiate the rates that are needed for all the hotels. It's a pretty comprehensive package that you put together, but it's all the hotels that are interested can bid on that and be a part of it. If we need the Boise Center for event space, they'll be part of it. So it's pulling a lot of different pieces together for these events, and it's the same kind of process for large conventions here in Boise. They come to us with what they need as far as event specs and space needs and hotel needs, and then we take it from there and put it together in a nice package that is easy for them to bring their convention here, and because it's a lot of work for them to put these things on. So we've got a lot of convention services to try to make it as easy as possible.
A beautiful proposal.
Yeah,
is what you do.
You got it. We make it look sharp, and because, like I said, the competition out there is, and we're considered a tier 2, tier 3 city, which based on the space that we event space and hotels that we have here room wise. So we're up, but we're going up against the Salt Lakes and the Denvers and some of these and the Portlands. So it's fun, and we win a lot.
The beautiful bonus, though, is that once you submit this, you package it up, propose it with a bow, they agree to come here. The economic factor is driven also when they're now supporting all of the local things, the restaurants, everything that's not considered event, that then they have to go off-site and do. It's putting money into our dollars.
Yeah, it's the reason.
Stimulating our economy.
It's a big reason why you'll see a lot of restaurants. I mean, when a city is doing well and restaurants are opening, a huge part of that is a lot of restaurants. Their 30% of their revenue can come from the visitor or the convention attendee. So when you have a healthy tourism community, you're going to see more restaurants, and can support events like Tree Fort and. Any type of events happening, they're out and about taking advantage of these and spending money. And I know we talked a little bit about it. We always say, we try to get them in here to Boise and spend their money for, 3, 4, 5 days. And then we send them back to their hometown. So
I love that part.
So, yeah, as our growth continues. But we have had, I was at a dinner, a tourism dinner the other night, and one of our new members just moved here, and he said, I was here for an event that I put on, and he put on a golf event here that we helped out with, and sure enough, 2 years, 3 years later, him and his wife moved here. So I will say some people will move here because they came here for an event, which is pretty wild. And that's the greatest part of representing Boise, because you could represent not to knock any towns in the country, but it's pretty cool when you get to represent a city that you're really proud of. And it's the reason I chose to live here. Is it's just, I honestly don't see another city out there that has everything going on that Boise does from all aspects of quality of life here.
Quality of life is huge. Accessibility is huge. I do love it when people, there's so many restaurants opening downtown. I was going to say downstairs, but also downtown. But a lot of steakhouses, right? Well, do we really need another steakhouse?
Yes.
Well, you bring in enough events and conventions and a big draw for a lot of people. Absolutely, because those places will get funded by all of that tourism. So I'm totally for it, but I know that there's a lot of people. Can we even afford this? Maybe you're not the demographic all the time, right? Maybe they want the outsiders from the East Coast with the big pockets to come in and spend a lot of money. Because if you're on a convention or here for an event, money is not an option typically. Those people, I've been to enough of them that I'm just amazed at, this is just, okay, who's picking up dinner for who, Mm-hmm. It's a wild thing, but it's really cool. So I'm for I love the options. I love restaurant options. Give me steak anywhere, but I don't care that there's a million steakhouses. I love it. Just put them there. People will go.
It's to have options is not a bad thing, but from the tourism side, we get requests all the time from the groups coming in. If they're here for a convention, somebody wants to take out 20 people, 30 people for a client dinner. That's when they're going to be going to these new restaurants and supporting them. So it's pretty cool to be able to send that business, because the convention is one thing, but if you think about the trickle-down effect of all the money that's spent, even, just shopping around town, the gas stations, going in there for whatever, it's a huge impact bringing these people in to spend money here.
Do you think that every time you've been, I guess, what's your success rate in when you've been up against another city? Like, I'm sure. Listen, I know you.
I have this stat actually.
Okay. Oh, good. Oh, I love it. I was gonna say, as dynamic as you are, I know that you could sell like ketchup to the woman in white gloves. So tell us, like, you give me some stats. I like the stats.
I don't know what that means, but
Ketchup
just
to a woman in white gloves.
we just ran. It was actually a good question that the Boise Center had, was because we call them site visits. That would be when Ironman, before they've decided, after they've gotten our proposal, before they make a decision, they're going to review our proposal. Then they're going to say, all right, we have to, come see how this is going to work. So we call that a site visit, and we do those throughout the year, several of them a month for conventions and sporting events. But that's where we bring them in if we're competing against another city, and we cover the cost for that because we know it's going to be an impact if it's a win. But for convention center business, last year when people came here, just hadn't made a decision yet, and we're going up against other cities, we had a 78% win rate of site visits when they actually came here and experienced Boise, because we get a lot of, on paper, Boise has some challenges from a convention aspect. The convention center is amazing. It's in much better shape than most of our competitors, as our hotels are too. I mean, I think we have at least eight new hotels in the last decade here, which is pretty wild. But yeah, going up against these other cities, we have great product. But in Spokane, for example, they have a 700 room Davenport hotel that's also very nice. And they have 700 rooms there. So from a client perspective, somebody planning something, that's a lot easier than using 4 hotels, having 4 hotel contracts. So that's why we have to bring people into Boise, and they can see how close everything is, because every city out there is talking about how walkable and great they are. But when people get here, it's truly a walking experience in Boise is different than the blocks in Salt Lake City.
Yep.
So once people get here and can see the different options that are right around the convention center, it's pretty good situation for a win. And we don't just focus on convention business. The sporting events are huge for helping out all the hotels. We've got a lot of youth soccer events here that are massive, that help fill our hotels that are, we represent out to basically Eagle Road, are all the hotels that we represent. So we're also always looking for business that will, impact all of those hotels as well. And the sports has been a huge success driver for that. Just a couple of the big ones that are coming in this year. I mentioned Ironman already. It's a 3-year deal with them. But we've got the Banana Ball World Tour coming here. I don't know if you all saw that.
What is that?
I'm in the lottery for it. I'm so excited.
What is that?
I should have made you sign up for me too.
What is it?
Well, you missed the cutoff, but I'm sure we could try to figure some tickets out for you.
What's Banana Ball? What is this?
Have you heard of the Savannah Bananas?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
It's they've created a whole world tour because they're selling out NFL stadiums right now. The popularity is through the roof, and my colleague, our sports director, met them, Lucas, at a show, and then talked to Boise State, and Boise State was on board. Boise State's been an amazing partner to bring in. Well, you've seen some of the concerts and all they're doing, so. They're really open and doing a great job bringing in these cool events that have a massive impact. So yeah, that'll be 2 sold out nights in July for the baseball games. So that'll be fun.
Oh, that's very cool. Okay, so hold on. With you mentioning Boise State, anytime a comedian concerts, are they going through you or are they going through Boise State?
Those are generally going through Boise State. If it has our goal is to bring people in from outside of the, our valley here. So you won't see, we've got a lot of marketing going out to outside of Boise. So you'll rarely see any of our Visit Boise marketing because, we're looking to bring people in here from outside.
Sure.
But we do have some really cool campaigns going on. So check out visitboise.com. We're calling it the most braggable city. And
Okay.
we got some cool videos on there working with a local ad agency here. So check out the site. We think you'll like
Love
it.
that. I'll for sure tag that in the description. It's funny, when I moved here, I don't even remember how long I was here, and immediately I started getting the ads on my TV for Visit California. And I would yell at my TV because I'm like, dude, I just left that place. It does not all look like that. It is not like that. And some people love it, but for me, I love it here. So I imagine when I came here for the first time to check it out, to see if I felt comfortable moving here and living here, if I saw an ad that encompassed everything, there was no BS to what I saw on the ground versus what I had just seen online. I didn't even see any tourism ads. It was just what you're seeing online versus boots on the ground. And it holds so true in so many ways, especially the downtown walkability, comfort, everything. And then you have the accessibility aspect of you could ski, you could be on the river, you could do everything in the matter of 45 minutes. I mean, river obviously closer, but ski 45 minutes. So it's just to be that connected to a community and to have it be so livable and have all the activities at your fingertips is a huge thing. Yeah. So I would imagine once people get here, they love that. I mean, you can extend your trip from your convention a couple of days and go up to, if it's summer, go up to the Music on the Mountain at Bogus. Whatever it is, there's always something. Yeah. Or I guess come for Tree Fort.
And when we do a big client event every summer, and we call them all the other competitors do them. They're called FAM trips, familiarization trips. And so we'll bring in probably 15 potential clients in July. And the cool thing is they are totally unaware of our wine country here. You know, the Sunny Slope region is amazing. And very few of our potential clients have any idea that that's out there 45 minutes from downtown Boise. And then we always do the highlight of the trip that people will come up to at trade shows years later is we take them up to do whitewater rafting. And again, if you go during the middle of the day, we take them up there during the day. It's 45, 50 minutes up there. Yeah. And then we have a nice catered dinner on the river. And I mean, it's pretty special to be able to do that outside of right outside of a amazing city here in Boise. So yeah, it's just cool to be able to. I mean, I'm glad I get to do it. Like I said, it is a dream job to be able to bring people in here and show them what we have.
And you're so genuine about it, too. And, I mean, you can tell that you really do love it. So I'm sure that number one, energy is contagious, right, whether it's good or bad. So when you go to other states and you're talking to people, you can't help but get excited to visit a place where even everything you just explained. Like in a day, we can go up here and everything is so close that you're not talking about 5 hours in the car or having to get, mass transport to go on a whole day trip somewhere. You can just get there and experience it. And that's really cool that it's so close by.
And that's what I love about, when I worked in Boulder, I actually lived in Denver. So you weren't really living I wasn't really living the Boulder life every day. And that's what I think I think it's important if you're going to be out there marketing and selling a destination. You got to know what's going on. So that was, I still love that, but I didn't have the same here. I've got I live, I'm up on the bench. I can ride my bike to work. I mean, it's incredible. So there's, so many cool things about, but I do believe, living in the city and, I try to go to as many cool events as I can here. So. Like we've got some amazing stuff going on at the Egyptian Theater this weekend. I just bought tickets today to see the Mountain Film Tour. So just some of these venues that are really unique here in Boise. And again, there's always something going on here.
There is.
So, yeah. What about you guys?
So,
what do you love about this place?
Well, I moved here because of guns and freedom, because that's all I wanted. And when I started looking, it reminded me a lot of Italy, not Boise so much, but the outskirts. So I live in Star, and it was more of a country feel. It's not like that anymore 5 years later, for sure not, because development, because reasons. So it happens.
But it's still not major city-like.
But it's not, no, it's not major city. And I do really enjoy living out there because, and I've had a lot of people tell me, oh, for your work, you're everywhere. Why don't you live downtown? Because I've always been used to being a little removed where I live. So it always took me, even in San Diego, it took me 45 minutes to get downtown. Took me 20 minutes to get to the beach. I was a little more removed, and I like that. I think it gives me process time when I drive home. But I love that Boise's so clean and everyone's so friendly. Boise Nice is a real thing. It's from the Idahoans. You know, then you start getting all the transplants here, and you have to reiterate, hey, this is Boise Nice. And if you don't play by the rules, you got to go back. Like, it should be in the state charter. If you don't play by the rules, you got to go back.
Yeah, we need to keep that. That genuine, nice feel here, Boise, for sure.
Driving around, and especially in the neighborhood, there's a lot of houses in my neighborhood. I don't know everyone, but throwing up your hand to say hi or whatever it is, it's you could tell that people are way less stressed, especially when they come from places like where I came from, and probably even Denver. When you're too big city and too congested, that stress just carries on with you. You carry it everywhere. So when you come, and it took me a while to kind of get used to, why aren't contractors calling me back to fix something on my house? Why are they skiing today? Like, there's work that needs to be done. They said they'd come today. You just kind of have to, and that honestly reminds me more of Italy, because everything is a little more lackadaisical in that regard. When it comes to work, in terms of my work, right? My work, we're on it because we have to be contractually. But if it's someone coming to fix my light switch that didn't work proper.
Just relax. We'll get it done.
We'll get it done. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so Italian. So I just love it for that. I feel like it's a mode of peace. Driving here it's obviously with the more people now, there's road construction is always a season, but I think I love it because you can get somewhere, and yeah, it might take you a little longer, but the whole point of the mentality being a little more chill is there's not a rush. Obviously you have to get somewhere on time, but you don't stress out and give yourself anxiety and, like heartburn because you're going to be 2 minutes late. Like, it happens. It's Eagle Road.
We have one of the best things we've done at Visit Boise. We have a customer advisory board, and we bring in 8 top industry professionals each September. And basically, we sit down with a facilitator for a couple days, and they tell us what they're seeing out in other cities and how can we improve on, what we're doing from a marketing and sales perspective, which is, incredible because they're just so open and very, we say, give it to us frankly. And that's one of the huge things that always comes out of it. Speaking of neighbors waving at people, it's like that makes an impact on our visitors and everybody that's coming here. And that's why these convention planners, they get off the plane, and that's why you got to check out our Braggable video. It starts out, Boise.
Boise. That quaint, waiting to be discovered, best kept secret city, right? Nah, not to brag. Who are we kidding? Totally bragging. There's more to see, do, and share here than cities twice its size. It's a walkable, talkable, eat, drink, and danceable, boastable, postable, shop till you droppable city. You don't just visit Boise, you live it. See for yourself. Visit Boise. Now.
Because it does give you this nice feel here. And the customer advisory board, what'd they say? They said, you need to promote this Boise vibe that you have. It's a Boise vibe, we call it. And it's really true when you're just cruising down, walking here and walking to the coffee shops. And it's very unique. We go to Washington, D.C. a lot for work trips. And that's a different experience, sitting in the Starbucks downtown D.C. versus sitting in the district around the corner here having a coffee. So that is one of the huge selling points. It's a different feel here. Yeah, less stress. You're a little more relaxed. And well, you've heard me. I can't say enough
Megan's
about
more
it.
of a native than us. What's your favorite thing about here?
It's an all-weather city. It doesn't matter. Spring, summer, fall, winter. There's something to do outside. Like, I don't ski, but if I did, it's right there, and
Yeah.
You can mountain bike, you can hike, you can float the river, I'm fishing, the camping. It's all right here.
All weather, we might want to put the disclaimer that also means in spring it could be all weather. So you should have every type of clothing
Yeah.
in your vehicle because you could change rapid fire in 10
If you don't like the
minutes.
weather, wait 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. But I love the seasons too. The seasons are great. I mean, I had sun forever.
Well, yeah, when I lived in Phoenix, it was like, I just want to go home. I'm tired of it just being hot and hotter. I like having all the seasons.
Well, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to get over that, the perception. Because even when I didn't know anything about Idaho, and I was like, that has to be a cold place. And I think that's what, a lot of people think that are, I go back east because we bring a lot of people here a lot of people are learning about it back east, about Idaho. And, you kind of picture it being kind of a Montana cold type place, and you're totally right. Like, I was having coffee at the Renegade the other day, and somebody had their golf clubs out, and this is end of February, and I know this is a little unique year, but he was going to play golf, and so it is pretty neat what you can do here year round.
Yep.
No question about it.
It's wild that we're now in the beginning of March and this has been our winter and we're going to knock on everything we can, but I'm okay with it. Like, you lived through Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't want to. I was told it was a 1 in 100 year
I
storm.
was not a fan of that, but I would like a true winter.
No. True winter, yeah, but it's a little late now.
Oh, no,
We
I don't want it now.
Yeah, now we don't want it.
I want it in
Next
December.
year.
Yeah, I miss the Snowmageddon. I still haven't bought a shovel here in Boise yet.
Oh, wow.
So I missed the big snowstorm, but yeah, we've got another cool thing is Lucky Peak, and I mentioned I lived on a sailboat, so when I was moving to Idaho, I figure that's the end of my sailing days, but I got a little 13,
We
14,
have a seaport.
14-foot sailboat and keep it up there at Lucky Peak.
Nice.
And have a blast. So there's a handful of us that still get our sailing fix here in Boise. But
Your sailing fix. You've mentioned Ironman a couple times. Is that now on the docket officially? 3-year coming to Boise?
yeah,
3-year
so
deal?
we hosted it last summer and had close to 2,000 athletes register for that. This year it's actually going to be they do about 120 events throughout the world, and they selected, I think it was 16 cities that will be on their Pro Series tour. So that event will have all the top triathletes in the world. A lot of them will be coming here to Boise this summer. So definitely get out and check it out. It's a fun scene downtown in Julia Davis Park, where everything takes place for the bike and the run. So yeah, that was pretty cool that they selected Boise as out of that many races to be on this tour. And we have Danielle Lewis, who is one of the top 10 females in the world that lives here in Boise. So
cool.
She's been a huge proponent for us. So that's the cool thing too. Our local heroes here in the kind of in the outdoor sports world with Kristen Armstrong. Where else can you go to a gym? And I go to Pivot over there that she owns, and she actually teaches spin classes. So you're taking a spin class from a 3-time gold medalist cyclist. So that's a little daunting, but she takes it easy on you once in a while. But that's pretty cool. And then we just have some pretty cool athletes here that people aren't aware of as well. And we haven't talked about Bogus Basin at all.
So let's talk about Bogus Basin. Tell us about it.
Well, as a avid skier, I wasn't sure what to expect about skiing here in Idaho. I'd been to Sun Valley, and obviously that's a very cool mountain. But then learned about Bogus Basin, which again adds to our quality of life. That's through the roof. So when I got here in 2018, I got up here right at the end of ski season, and I was blown away. I mean, I was looking it up, and don't quote me, but I think Bogus has more skiable acreage, the actual where you can ski, than Copper Mountain, Colorado, which is a
Wow.
pretty major resort out in in Colorado. So I was blown away by the mountain up there, and it's done nothing but they've done nothing but amazing improvements, and it's nonprofit, which is wild.
I didn't know that.
Brad Wilson, who's the general manager up there, was on our board, chair of our board for a little bit, and pretty cool just to hear how they're, for a nonprofit, and we've had this amazing growth here, getting new skiers into the market up there. So they've been able to, we've got snowmaking now for the first time. I think that happened 4 or 5 years ago, maybe, but that gets us up open earlier and be able to stay later when we have seasons like this. So the improvements they've done up there is pretty incredible. Changing out chairlifts and huge investments, and also making it a summer spot as well for listening to music on the mountain up there. So yeah.
Well, and the things for kids like the coaster and the mountain biking and the hiking and.
Yeah, to have that 16 miles up the road is pretty special. So, have you used it?
Have I been to Bogus? Yeah, I've been there. I went last summer. It was the first time I went for the music on the mountain. Okay. And I thought that was really cool. I don't snow. I mean, I obviously don't snow, but I don't ski or snowboard was the rest of that one. I would like to learn how to snowboard. I think that skiing will kill me. I'm convinced that I'm not made for skiing. But I think I could be made for snowboarding. But I just need to learn.
Well,
So
they
it's like
have
lessons.
snowshoeing trails up there as well, which
Snowshoeing's a blast.
I could probably snowshoe.
talk about getting away from stress.
Yeah.
Like get some snowshoes and go up to Bogus, and there's nobody out on the trails a lot of the time where you can go back there. Beautiful views overlooking the city and the backside there. So highly recommend.
Okay.
When you're feeling stressed out, put on the snowshoes.
Okay. And go up. So have you been there a lot this season?
I've been up there probably, I don't know, handful of times, 6, 7 times. So we always do a chamber ski day that
Oh, that's right.
chamber, because Visit Boise, I didn't mention, is we're part of the Boise Metro Chamber of Commerce, and we're basically the tourism division of the chamber. But back in the day, they started, I think it's been going on 20 years now. They said it's Chamber Ski Day, and I think some of the other chambers are doing it now, which is cool. But basically, it was to help out. Bogus was trying to figure out how do we get more skiers up here, and they've since figured it out because it's tough to get a parking spot on Saturday. But yeah, back in the day, this is before I was here. They were trying to figure out how do we get more people up here skiing and snowboarding, and so the chamber partnered with Bogus to bring business professionals up there and hopefully get them invested in the getting their employees up there. So kind of a whole that cool community approach to help out this nonprofit resort that's kind of built and for the community. So, yeah, we always do that, which highly recommend as well. You get like 50, 75 people up there in the business community skiing and snowboarding, and kind of a fun way to, not sit in a boardroom and network.
I feel that that's always been kind of a big thing. As much as I've been involved with the chamber over the past 5 years as an ambassador, and it's always been a big thing, Chamber Day at Bogus. And just because you're getting out of the office, you're getting either company, but it's also a way for chamber members to just hang out together in a very low pressure environment. Yeah,
I think we should, along that line, I think we need to do more of that, more of those types of events because that's when you really get to build those relationships, and, people do business with people they like, let's be honest, and, so yeah, it is. We should do more of these. I guess maybe I'll start the chamber running club.
There you go.
So that'll be my idea to take away from here. As long as you guys join, first members right here.
So I would do like
I don't run.
I would do like a cycling.
It's already going downhill.
like I would do a stationary cycle chamber club.
Chamber spin class.
Chamber spin. I would do chamber spin.
All right.
But I won't do chamber run.
We'll brainstorm it.
Okay. We can talk.
But I do think it's so much more fun because we've had companies we had this company that the Boise Center works with on their technology over there. People from all over the world. We had some international people called Momentous is the technology company, but they wanted to do a hike. And we said, all right, no problem. They were staying downtown. And we said, all right, how many people did you get signed up? And they said, we have about 100. And we hadn't had that circumstance yet where we had that many people from one company. And but it was a blast. We actually walked from a downtown hotel. And where else can you say this for a convention? Maybe Boulder. Boulder, you could do this. But you can walk right from the hotel, and we walked through Hyde Park, which is awesome to walk through too. And they're all, everybody wants to stop in there. But we got to Camel's Back and did an hour hike. Broke into some smaller groups, but it was great. And then what another great way to just get to know your coworkers. Rather than being at another nothing against our happy hour functions that we do at every convention, but how cool was it for them to just be able to go out and do something totally different and go hiking with their teammates. And then we ended up at Lost Grove and Hyde Park, and that was one of my favorite events last year.
There is something to be said about when you take people out of the business, whether it's a happy hour networking event, if it's a convention, when you take them out and just put them in real life, that's where genuine connections are built, because you're not thinking of what you're saying. You're not so on. You're able to just kind of let loose. And you already have to get over the fact, if you're one of those a little more uppity corporate people, that I have to go hiking. People have to see me in workout clothes, without makeup, not in professional attire. You have to put that to the back of your mind already, because it just makes you more real, and it makes the connection more real, because you can laugh about things, you can struggle together, you can bitch about it, whatever it is you have to do. It's going to be a bonding experience in either way. So I love that kind of stuff. So chamber spin, I'm in. Chamber run, no.
Chamber spin, I think it does have a good ring to it.
Chamber spin, I'm in.
We'll do it at Pivot. Have it led by...
Oh, no, wait, hold on. Hold on.
Led by Kristen Armstrong.
She's got to go easy on us, though.
But no, I think it's a huge trend in our industry, especially with the new generations coming up. They do not want the same experience that I've had personally at conventions, where it's always been kind of a cookie cutter type thing with the you got your sessions all day, your keynote speaker, and then you got your reception, and it's like, okay, can we think outside the box? The new generations are like, we need different things other than just sitting in a room, because really, people aren't making great connections sometimes especially if you're introverted, I don't know what you guys are, but I think I'm kind of, that
You're ambivert. You're an ambivert.
I'm an ambivert. But, there's a lot of introverts that's the last thing they want to do. And so if you can make it more fun and maybe break into smaller groups, it's a lot easier for a lot of people for the networking and actually doing business. So we're seeing that. We have to find ways to do these events differently now. And
when you have different opportunities also presented at a larger scale opportunity, then people have the option to do things. So I go to real estate conventions.
Yeah.
There's the whole thing. There's the speakers, there's the reception, there's the welcome. And then there's a million people doing side events, whether it's coffee, dinner, a workout, and you get to kind of pick and choose what you do. And I thrive in the smaller events, because I'm not so overwhelmed I can't talk to this many people. And even though I'm not planning on talking to 100, gosh, even talking to 15 is really daunting when you are a natural introvert. You need the smaller scale. So people need that. Yeah. I will say the new generation, not just for conventions, the new generation in most things is all about the experience. We see it even in home buying. They want something with experience. So whether it's where the house is located, it's not so much about the structure at this point, unless they also want I want all of the amenities inside, like I need the sauna and I need this and I need. So they're geared at that. They're geared at destinations where that is accessible. Which is probably why Boise is so hot right now. But it always is since it became hot.
But I feel like those little I don't know, breakout sessions or whatever are nice because you can find your people. Because if you want to go to the workout, you go to the workout. If you don't want to go to the workout, those aren't your people. You know, you find your
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. So it's for the planner, the reason we just haven't done it is it's at the end of the day, it's more work for the planner. So we've actually, our customer advisory board said if Visit Boise should be the basically the one of your services could be creating the networking experiences for the planner. And so that's what we started doing. I like that hike. We, they didn't have to do a thing. We said, we got this, So how can we promote those and come up with more cool ideas? And that's why the rafting's cool. Speaking of like being in the smaller groups, because you're on a raft with,
Seven other people. Yeah.
And so then you see those people hanging out more at the convention later on. So it's kind of cool. It really is that bonding in the smaller groups that I think we need to lean into. And is it going to be a little more work? Yeah, but are they going to have a much better experience at the event and come back? Yes.
Rafting for sure, though, because you're dependent on other people to literally pull weight. And
that's a true bonding experience.
And if they don't, then that's probably where they get isolated from work also, and that's where all the talk comes
I still resent people I've been on rafting trips with.
Really?
But we have such great outfitters, and sometimes they'll get water fights going between the boats. And, it's just, we have really good river outfitters here.
Yeah. And it's perfect. It's because people are, when we bring that up, people are initially, because most of these people have never gone whitewater rafting. And so they're very hesitant to do this. So, but we've got the perfect little float there on the main. It's what, class 3.
Yep.
So it's like you get some excitement, but we're not going to lose a client. Well, we haven't lost a client yet. Shouldn't jinx myself, but
you're not going to.
Well, it's like the perfect speed for everybody.
Yeah.
So, and then. I also think you have to touch on the 200. We have over 200 miles of trail system here, and there's not that many cities that can say that. So the whole Ridge to Rivers program is unbelievable. I probably broke the rules bringing the 100 clients out there that day, but we'll check into that. But because I could see doing that in the future, it was so successful, and for them to be able to take a picture up there at the top overlooking the city.
Yeah.
But our trail system is just insane for.
It's phenomenal.
And it's for, kids can be up there. It's the cool thing is it's all different skill levels. And I think, Boulder has an amazing trail system, but it's mainly for, experts. So here it's like any age can do anything. It's just, that's hard to find.
Which is really nice.
And they're really well maintained.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's another thing going on this weekend. I think I saw is you can volunteer to get up there and help rebuild and clean the trails. So, always something going on.
I love it. I love that everything is just here. That it's not so overwhelming. Where if I can't make it forget it, unless it's tree fort, and then that gives me anxiety because I just think I'm in a grid. Where am I going to go? So that gives me a little bit. But one day maybe. Maybe. No promises. But one day maybe if there's someone really phenomenal. I think last year Sophie Tucker was here. Like she was performing. And I'm like, I want to go see Sophie Tucker.
Yeah, you guys have to put Tree Fort on the list this year. No question.
I don't know about this year. It's like real close call right now. Tickets were bought last year, weren't they? I know there's a lot of venues that do it free.
I'm sure you can still get some tickets.
I'm sure you could still get some
tickets.
Is it
like spring break or is it like the last week of March?
It's the last week
of
March.
Okay.
25th.
So, but yeah, it's a fun industry, and like I said, every city has it. So how can we keep Boise in a position to compete against the Spokanes and Renos? And it goes back to the people and the community, and keeping it a cool spot that people want to come to, because we do have. Developments continuing. We've got a AC Element Marriott Hotel opening downtown in April next month.
Wow.
That brings, I think it's 296 hotel rooms in one building right on Front Street there. So that's a massive project coming in. So I definitely recommend doing some staycations for people here in the valley because we could use your support as we open all these new rooms in Boise, Idaho. And I know the Riverside is huge into that. I don't know if you guys have ever stayed at the Riverside.
The Riverside's coming back. It was a big deal when I was a kid, and then it's coming back now.
Yeah, you got to put a staycation on the books over there. So they got what was it? Their general manager just said the pool is, I think, sits at close to 100 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
Year round. So, yeah, if you want to stick around and not go on these other vacations, there's kind of some cool staycations right around here.
You're so outdoorsy. Okay, so you said warm water, and I'm thinking you would probably be someone who takes advantage of the hot springs.
Oh, yeah, no question.
Okay. Talk about those a little bit. I know it's not like in the Visit Boise element, but it is that's what we also have here.
Yeah, well, we haven't had any group excursions to hot springs yet.
I wouldn't recommend that one. No.
Maybe that'll
maybe
that'll be the small group experience. But no, we have. One of my favorite spots is whenever people visit to take them up to Idaho City, and I love Idaho City. It feels like you're kind of stepping back in time there. But they've got the Springs, which is a beautiful facility up there, and then you've got the natural hot springs that people want to experience too. So, but we got to figure out a way to hit these. You have to hit them during the week, because that's the key. We're in the weekend warrior situation here in Idaho for sure. So
Idaho City from downtown Boise is how far? On a weekday with no traffic?
I'd say 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's not bad.
It's a fun place.
Yeah,
That's
got
not
some cool restaurants up there as well. So
Good huckleberry ice cream.
yeah, and you get that stepping back in time feeling of Idaho. So, but yeah, and we're also one of the things that we don't promote a whole lot is we have the most buildings of any city heated by geothermal here in Boise. It's a massive geothermal system, and I learned this when I first got here, and I think we might be like either one or a few Capitol buildings heated by geothermal. But when I got here and started, I didn't have my role, but I was working on this convention. It was a geothermal convention, and huge. I think it was like 700 people that would be coming here. And this is how cool Idaho is, because this never would have happened in other places where I work. But I said, "Do you think we could get?" So they were hosting the previous one in Reno, and I said, "Do you think?" How could we get Boise better potential to win this business? Somebody said, well, why don't you ask the governor if he would maybe go speak at the previous convention that's going to be in Reno? And I was like, you want me to go ask the governor if he'll go do this? And sure enough, he actually went down there and spoke at this convention on behalf of Boise. And that's something we haven't touched on. It's like, oh my goodness, like everybody is so open and accessible here that you can get the governor to go speak at a convention to help you win a piece of business. And I thought, that blew me away when I got here. And it's just, everybody is just willing to, and there, has open door policy here. You don't see that in other places where I've been. Not that accessible.
I think it's a beautiful thing, and it is. I'm glad you brought it up because it's kind of overlooked, because especially with the locals, they've always had it. They've always had this accessibility to the Capitol right here, and then politicians, you'll see them everywhere, whoever works for the cabinet, everywhere. But to be able to just send an email to the correct person, we're not advocating everyone writing into the governor right now, but just to have that, and they do this, from Secretary of State to the governor to everyone that works in between, it's so much collaboration. Yeah. And I think that that's really cool, that it does make you feel, number one, I'm actually heard here a little bit, right? They actually are doing things for the state and not just saying it. There's a lot of different elements that go with that. But I think overall, it's such a positive thing to have it right here. Yeah. And that geothermal thing, you did the tour when you were in Leadership Boise, right? Yeah. I did it. It was amazing. So cool.
Got to plug Leadership Boise.
We love
too.
Leadership Boise. But I think it's just, that was probably the coolest thing, was to get to go under into that tunnel and see how it all just kind of functions. Wild. And then you hear all the stats, and I forgot them because I don't retain infrastructure information very easily. But really cool. It was just, there's all the paintings downstairs in that little tunnel.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, and one of the ways that I did want to put this out there, that the local community could help with this, I mean, the economic impact and helping businesses, local businesses thrive that we've talked about through this, through the event business, the conventions and sporting events. I mean, all those families coming for sporting events that are supporting these restaurants and different businesses here. Where you'll see hopefully some campaigns coming out called Bring Your Conference Home. And, it's really a push for, say you belong to an association and you've been going to their real estate convention or a marketing convention in wherever, Salt Lake City. Talk to those people, and a lot of people here that live in Boise are on boards of these associations or have some influence on them. So think about bringing them back, talking to them about bringing these back to Boise, Idaho. And we're booking, the convention center. We've got groups that are booking 2030, 2031. So it takes a while. Some of these plan a ways out. But as you're at events or thinking about it, we would love to help to have that in. We'll do all the legwork. We just need the connections to make it happen. And I mean, it's about 30% of the conventions we bring in here are tied to a local person that wanted to bring this to Boise. So didn't want to miss the opportunity to mention our Bring Your Conference Home program that will have a huge impact on local business throughout the valley. And Boise State is we're working with them to really work with their professors because they've brought some really cool, we don't know half the things that are happening over at Boise State, but they've got some really cool programs going on. There's some massive computing conferences that they've brought the last couple of years. So we're working with Boise State quite a bit because that's a huge asset to have here in a city for the industry that I'm in, because they love to bring people in and showcase what they're doing at Boise State to their peers. So
Sure.
That's a huge initiative this year to really work with the professors on bringing back engineering conventions, any type of education conventions. So we've got a lot of resources here, and we're looking to tap more into the community and the locals to help us bring things back here from a convention and sporting event perspective.
What is your max capacity of a convention at the center, Boise Center?
It's a good question.
Or like the largest, yeah.
So our sweet spot for a convention is anywhere from 300 to 800 attendees, typically, based on how their setup is. So that's kind of our sweet spot, 300 to 800 people. However, the convention, if you've been to a gala over there, if they don't have other functions and trade shows, they can go up to, I think, 1,500. And we did host a massive convention. It was right before my time, but I think it was the largest convention we did, and it was around that 1,500 attendees. We have to get real creative in situations like that, but we do have funds to do transportation. We pay for motor coaches if we need to use hotels outside of downtown. So we've got a lot of convention resources that people aren't aware of, free to the meeting and convention planners. But yeah, I'd say the sweet spot if you're looking to bring something here is 300 to 800. But sporting events, those could be all over the board. I don't know if you're familiar with the Far West, U.S. Youth Soccer, Far West Regionals, which is changing up how they do things. But that would bring in over 10,000 hotel room nights over the course of a week. So these things are incredibly important to the hotels and to the restaurants. And So anything that you want to look at from a sports perspective, we love to take a look at and see what else we can bring in.
Okay. So what does Off the Clock Andrew love the most in life? Where are we finding you if you're not promoting and plugging and selling Boise?
I love triathlons. So that's why, Ironman coming here is, I love that because I did the race last year. And that's my kind of my big passion. I'm running and biking quite a bit. And summertime, for Lucky Peak, I don't know if you know this, but you don't just get to have a slip up there because there's only so many of them. And so I was on the waiting list for 6 years before they called and said we have an opening. So it's pretty wild. But summertime, now I can have the little sailboat up there. I'll be up there quite a bit. And the cool thing is, you can go sailing till like 9 o'clock at night in light here, which is another crazy thing about Boise that took some getting used to.
Yeah.
But yeah, running, biking, skiing, and sailing.
That's it. You're just the ultimate outdoorsman.
Well, I think there's a lot of people like me that are here for a reason because, I truly did. I chose Boise and I couldn't, I honestly just couldn't find another place. I mean, I love the Bozeman's and the Missoulas and the Coeur d'Alene's, and they're all great cities, but to have what we have, to have an airport where you can get out of here and go to a lot of places very easily, and to have, the nightlife and the restaurants. I mean, there's still restaurants that I'm sure I haven't gotten to yet. It's
Of course.
it's so make a hit list of the restaurants. Yeah, everybody needs to do that because it's new things coming all the time, and these other cities are awesome, but they don't have that kind of situation, and where we're not, a major. Denver, I loved it. I loved it to death, but it's, it's becoming the next Chicago, and we're just in this, I feel, a great spot with our size and everything we have going on with the size of Boise and the Valley.
Everything. Yeah. So how can people learn more? I will put it at the show notes, but if you want to share the website that people can go to or any kind of info.
VisitBoise.com. Check it out. The most braggable city. Check out the new campaign and give us your feedback. So, but yeah, I love it, and you can find everything there. From we have an events calendar that I know a lot of locals use. So definitely check that out.
I use it, it's very user friendly. To connect with you, for all the decision makers that want to connect with you, do you want us to include your email or something, or whatever kind of socials you want plugged? Do you want
definitely.
Any socials? Okay.
Please do.
Okay. I'll include those all.
All right.
Thank you for coming on. Anything else, words of wisdom you want to share besides bring your conference home, which we love? Bring your conference home, everyone.
Man, I think we need to really take care of Boise and remember why it's such a special place, because it's not going to stop growing. But if we can keep the same Boise vibe through the growth, then a lot of cities have kind of lost themselves in that translation. And I hope, as living here, I hope we can keep that Boise vibe as because growth is good as we continue to grow. Keep the vibe.
Keep the vibe. All right. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
And have a good day to everyone. Would you like to close us out?
Yes. Have a great day, everyone, except for those who do not tip the housekeeper at hotels.
Okay.
I want to tie it back to the industry. They're the hardest working people in the hotel. So make sure you tip your housekeepers at the hotel.
Have a good day to all but you.
Okay. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.